The iPhone 17 is close to 6 months old, but if you've just picked one up now, here are 20 cool tips and tricks that you may have not known about. And before that, a quick shout out to Paperlike with their awesome range of iPad accessories. From their absolutely stunning paper-feeling screen protector to their Apple Pencil grips and tips, as well as screen cleaners, and this handy drawing glove too. So, level up your game and get this ultimate iPad productivity package with Paperlike by using the links below. Number 1, PWM adjustment. Apple now lets users disable PWM on the iPhone 17. PWM, or pulse width modulation, rapidly switches screen pixels on and off to control the brightness. And even though this is energy efficient, some users may experience eye fatigue or even headaches at lower brightness levels. In fact, it's estimated that between 5 to 20% of people may be affected by this without even realizing it. So to fix this, if you've got an iPhone 17, just go to Settings, Accessibility, then go to Display and Text Size, and enable Display Pulse Smoothing. Now, try lowering your brightness in a dark room to see if it's actually more comfortable to your eyes. Number 2, enable adaptive power in the battery settings. This is only available for iPhones with the A17 Pro chip or newer, so iPhone 15 Pro, 16, 16 Pro, and all the new iPhone 17s. This new mode can make small performance adjustments when necessary to extend your iPhone's battery life. And just like Apple stated in their keynote, this can actually be extremely useful for the iPhone Air. You can actually watch my full review on it right here. And number 3, we have the camera control customization. If you're upgrading from an older iPhone, this is a really cool new feature worth customizing. Simply go to Settings, Camera, and then Camera Control to set it to open up different apps like Instagram or Blackmagic Camera. You can also customize which settings to adjust on the fly, like zoom, styles, or exposure. Although, if you want that real camera feel, then enable lock focus and exposure to lock focus with a light press, then snap the photo with a full press. Personally, I do find the button placement to be quite awkward. It's just way too high for landscape mode and way too low when holding the phone upright, so I actually very rarely use it to actually take photos. But as a camera shortcut, I use it every single day. In fact, I've even disabled the gestures entirely. Number 4, make the most out of your center stage camera. Because taking landscape selfies while holding the phone in portrait orientation is now possible for the very first time, thanks to the new 18 megapixel squared off sensor selfie camera. And if you enable this setting, the phone will automatically adjust the camera if it sees more people enter the scene. So yeah, you don't need to be that guy anymore who rotates the phone when taking landscape selfies if you own the new iPhone 17, 17 Pro, or iPhone Air, because there's no need for that anymore. In number 5, we have the speaker placement. Apple inverted the speaker and the microphone on the bottom, so the speaker is now on the left-hand side, whereas the microphone is now on the right. This makes you less likely to block the speaker when watching videos in landscape. So while your speakers won't get blocked anymore, if you're in a call, you may want to avoid covering too much of the right-hand side with your palm now, as you will be blocking that mic. Number 6, scuff gate. The edges of the new camera plateau are extremely prone to scratching, as the layer of anodized aluminum is actually the thinnest one there. The regular iPhone 17 and Air don't have this problem. So if this concerns you, but you still want to get a Pro, then maybe get a silver version. The marks will be far less obvious than on the cosmic orange or deep blue. Additionally, these new iPhones are the least durable in years when it comes to drops. While the screen does seem to last, the frame itself seems to be made out of a very soft aluminum, like 6000 series, like the iPhone 6 back in the day. And based on a number of social posts that I've seen, it does tend to, well, break very easily. I've been using my blue iPhone 17 Pro Max since the release date, and I don't have any scratches or scuffs yet, but I have been using it specifically in a case just to avoid this issue, so your mileage may vary. And number 7, did you know that Apple sells official Beats USB-C and Lightning cables? They're cheaper than Apple's versions, but they're still made by Apple, so they offer the same functionality, plus they're actually more durable. They come in 2 lengths, 20 centimeters and 1.5 meters. And speaking of cases, did you know that Apple also makes official Beats cases? Since the iPhone 16, they've sold cases under the Beats brand on their website. There's the Beats iPhone case in various colors with MagSafe and camera control support, plus a bulkier, rugged iPhone case for those needing extra protection. And about those Beats cases, do you guys know what they lack compared to the official Apple ones? Well, it's actually the MagSafe animation. This means that you cannot take advantage of the new iOS 26 feature, where you can match the color of your home screen icons to the color of your official MagSafe iPhone case by long pressing on your home screen, then tapping the edit button in the top left corner, and then customize, and there you go, then simply tap on the case icon. Number 9, did you guys know that if you picked up an iPhone 17 Pro or 17 Pro Max from the US, it will actually have a larger battery than one purchased from Europe or the UK? The 17 Pro has a 6.35% larger battery for the eSIM version, while the 17 Pro Max has a 5.5% larger battery. So if you ever find yourself in a situation of having to choose between an eSIM and a physical SIM version of the same iPhone, then definitely get the eSIM only version, as a larger battery is always welcome. And speaking of batteries, these new iPhones finally support Qi 2.2. Well, all of them aside from the iPhone Air, which means that they can charge up to 25 watts using non-Apple wireless chargers that also support Qi 2.2. You also need a 30-watt charger in order to get these new speeds, but I think it's a good upgrade from last year. Also, speaking of tips and tricks, my best tip for any iPhone is getting an awesome looking lock screen, as that can truly change the way you feel about your phone, such as distant drives and winter wildlife in super high quality 1x1 8K resolution that actually fits any generation of the iPhone, or any device for that matter. Dropping soon is Chromatic Capsules by Artifacts, this insanely clean and premium pack that makes any device look so clean, whether that's phones, tablets, or desktops. So check them out inside Wallpapers for iOS and Android by using the links below. Number 11, if you've got the iPhone 17 Pro or 17 Pro Max, you can actually customize the intensity and the beam of the flashlight. Simply swipe up and down for intensity and left and right for a more focused or spread out light beam. But if you got the iPhone Air or the base model, you're out of luck. Now, speaking of the flashlight, did you guys know that you can remove it or replace it with whatever you want on your lock screen? Just long press on your lock screen, tap customize, and now just pick any app you want. So go ahead and replace both, especially now that we've got a dedicated button for launching the camera and the action button, which you can also customize to launch whatever else you want. And speaking of shortcuts, Siri Shortcuts lets you automate tasks on your iPhone with custom voice commands or taps. It's a built-in app, and to create a shortcut, you just open it, you press the plus icon, and then you can add actions like sending texts, playing music, or controlling smart home accessories. You can also chain multiple actions together. For example, a good morning message would disable Do Not Disturb, it would read out your calendar and start a music playlist. And there's so much more you can do, and so many templates, by the way, that can help you get started. Number 14, this is something that I'm seeing quite a lot of people not know about, even though this is, by the way, such a basic Apple tip. If you've got multiple Apple devices, you can copy and paste between them. To do that, just copy something on one device and then paste it on the other. And assuming it's not glitched out, it will work. Just make sure that continuity is turned on in settings and that you're also logged in on all of your devices with the same Apple ID. Up next, we have screenshots, and here's a better way to take them. Have you noticed that when you take screenshots, it now requires 3 button presses? Snap, tick, then save? Yeah, pretty annoying for multiple captures, but there is a fix. Simply go to Settings, then Screen Capture, and disable full screen previews. And now screenshots will go straight to the corner like they did back in iOS 18. Another thing that Apple changed with iOS 26 is the alarms. In iOS 26, you now have to swipe to turn off the alarms, meaning that you probably heard this alarm sound way too many times. Thankfully, you can switch back to the buttons. Just go to Settings, Accessibility, Touch, and then enable Prefer Single Touch Actions. So now you can enjoy those extra seconds of peace in the morning. Number 17, something cool that I actually use every day is called Audio Mix in Apple Music. It essentially acts as your personal Apple Music DJ and creates smooth transitions while also beat matching your songs. This is a feature that Spotify users have actually had for years that has finally arrived in iOS 26 as well. Of course, if you don't like it, you can always turn it off by going into Settings, Music, and then Song Transitions. Now, have you ever wondered if the charger that you're using is actually a fast charger or a slow charger instead? Well, with iOS 26, your iPhone will now let you know. It will now estimate the time to charge to 80%, not 100%, which is a bit strange, but yeah, 80%, and then display it on your lock screen. And if it senses that you're using a slower charger, it will also let you know. Speaking of fast, there's a tip that I feel like most of you probably know, but every now and then I do see people that don't know this. Did you know that you can actually swipe between recently used apps just by swiping left and right on your home bar? Yeah, like I said, I still see people that don't know about this and they do the old, hold the finger into the middle of the screen and then swipe between apps that way. And number 20, something that some of you may want to change when you get a brand new iPhone is changing this search button that appears right above the dock. If you want to change it back to the navigation dots, just go into settings, home screen, and disable search. And you'll now have those navigation dots back even when you're not moving between pages. So there you go, 20 new tips and tricks for your brand new iPhone. You probably knew some of these, but maybe some of them you didn't. Let me know in the comments how many tips did you actually know, and stay tuned for more iPhone 17 videos and also some videos on the new iPhone 17e that is set to be launching very soon. And until then, check out our app Wallpapers for some awesome designs for your new iPhone. I'm Daniel, this is Zoneoftech, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Zoneoftech, signing out. Cheers.